Hey guys, today I wanted to speak about strength versus size. Many people say that you need lots and lots of muscle to be strong, but actually strength and size isn't the same. Of course, it goes hand in hand. If you have lots of muscle, you can lift lots of weights, but you don't need to be really big to be really strong. Check out Joy, for example. She's #1 Britain's powerlifter, and here in this video she lifts 190 kilograms at less than 52 kilograms body weight, which is amazing. It's like more than 3 times her body weight. As you can see here, you don't need to be really big to lift so much weight. And if you want to follow her on Instagram, I will put the link to her Instagram profile just in the description down below. Okay, now we see that strength and building muscle size isn't necessarily the same. So now, depending on your goal, you can use different strategies for building muscle or gaining strength, or actually both at the same time. Okay, let's start with muscle size. What do we need to do to build muscle in terms of getting really big? The first thing you need to know is that for building muscle, it is not really necessary to lift as much weight as possible in terms of as heavy as possible, but to train the muscle in the most efficient way. And often, actually, you don't need to use so much weight in order to train the muscle in the most efficient way. First of all, there's one and pretty much obvious reason. If you use just lots of weight, your technique goes off and then you start to use any muscle possible just to lift this weight, and not necessarily the areas you want to target. But there is another reason. The thing is, our muscle consists of 2 different muscle fiber types, slow twitch and fast twitch. And one of these muscle fiber types responds to higher reps and the other one to lower reps. So if you want to grow your entire muscle in the most efficient way, so it becomes really big, you need to train both muscle fibers. Slow twitch and fast twitch. And also different muscle groups in our bodies have different composition of these muscle fibers. For example, if you have a muscle that is to 90% composed of slow twitch muscle fibers and 10% of fast twitch, then it makes sense to train it mostly with higher reps, so you can train the slow twitch muscle fibers. For this reason, our chest, for example, responds more to the lower rep range than to the higher rep range. That's why I train chest mostly in the lower rep range, but some really small parts of my training I do in the higher rep range. But it is even more pronounced with quads, because there are big genetic variations among people, which are about 30 to 40%, which determine how the proportion of your muscle fiber types is. And the rest is actually determined by your environment. What sports background you have, if you play endurance sports, or if you have lifted really heavy weight for your entire life, it has an influence on your muscle fiber type development as well. And if you want to determine which rep range is for you the best, you can do the 80% test. You take 80% of your 1 rep max for squat and do as many reps as possible. Then if you realize that you can do more than 8 to 10 reps, then it makes sense for you to have higher rep range for a big part of your squat training. If you can do less than 8 reps, then it makes sense for you to train a lot with a lower rep range. Most people will probably do between 8 and 10 reps on this test. For them, it makes sense to train both high rep and low rep range to get optimal muscle size. Another important thing is to increase your range of motion. If you want to train your muscle in the most efficient way, then you need to increase the way, or like the distance you lift the weight, so your muscle can do more work. When I want to gain lots of muscle and get really big, then I try to increase the range of motion for my bench press. I usually use hammer grip dumbbell bench press. But when I compete in powerlifting, and powerlifting is only about strength, and strength is about lifting as much weight as possible, I decrease the range of motion. It also makes sense. If you want to lift something heavy, you don't want to lift it for ages over a really long distance. You try to shorten the distance. And now we can actually start speaking about gaining strength. So, as you can see actually here in this video where I bench, the powerlifters arch because they want to decrease the range of motion, and then they can push more weight. Because in the competition rules, it's actually written that the bar has to touch your chest, but it's not defined how high or how low your chest has to be. So strength is a combination of getting muscle, because muscle are so important for being strong, and also to find a way how to do this movement as efficient as possible. Find the right way for your body type to lift the weight over the shortest distance possible. You can use an app, for example, to analyze your bar path. Then it is easier to see what you need to optimize and where are your weaknesses. When I get more tired, also my bar path changes. Then I see actually my weaknesses better and what I need to work on to optimize my bar path and the distance the bar has to travel, my technique, which will actually increase my strength. If you want to have examples for different training programs, what programs and exercises and rep ranges I use for increasing size versus for getting stronger and increasing strength, just comment below and let me know. I'm happy to make another video with specific examples, with specific training programs you can apply for your training. If you like the video and you think your friends could benefit from it, it would be really amazing if you would share this video with your friends. And if you have any questions, just comment below. I'm happy to answer them. See you very soon.